All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the webinar. My name is Wojciech Karen, and I'm here on behalf of Albertina Come Praha, showing you the very short presentation about our company, and then I will give the presentation over to Robin from IEEE, who will present you everything and show you all you've come to see. All right, so we have been in business since 1991, so longer than I've been alive, and we've been serving academic markets in the Czech Republic and Slovakia, and working with major global publishers. With major global publishers, you can see an example of them here on the screen, and also some other more specialized companies, like, for example, IEEE. And we are also working with the national consortia here in the Czech Republic and in Slovakia. So we have Czech eLib and CVTI. So we're giving a lot of access through those. And if you want any more questions, feel free to look at our website, and either for the Czech website or the Slovak website. And if you want to write us a message, you can see the emails here on the screen. On the top it's for the Czech part, and on the bottom it's for Slovakia. And this is everything from me, and I would like to give the word over to Robin, who will show you everything. So Robin, feel free to share your screen and go for it.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Hold on one second while I get my slides up.
Sure.
All right. Well, welcome to this webinar. My name is Robin Baldwin, and hold on a second. I just need to get this toolbar out of the way.
We don't see it.
Okay.
It's just you.
All right.
Yeah, so it's fine.
It's just me. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
All right. So I'm Robin Baldwin. I am Director of Periodicals and Special Projects with IEEE Computer Society, which is part of IEEE. We're one of the largest societies. And I've been with the company as a staff member for 29 years and been in the publishing area 28 of those 29 years. So I know a few things. So today I'm here to talk about how do you get published with IEEE Computer Society journal or magazine. I want to talk, my presentation will be focused in what I call the author journey. And here you'll learn about what to avoid, mistakes to avoid before you get started, how to identify high impact journals in your field of interest. And I can assure you, Computer Society has all the high impact and impact journals in computing. Learn the importance of reading author guidelines, a few things about writing your paper, what happens after you submit and go through the peer review process, and if your paper's accepted, what are some of the next steps that happens there. I will let you know that this presentation will be available after the webinar. I have a lot of links included in the presentation, so I want to make sure that you can access them. So one of the things that has been a challenge in the publishing space in recent years is publishing misconduct, which has been on the rise. And it's not just plagiarism or copying another person's work and representing it as your own. There's a number of examples of some trends that we're seeing. One is paper mills, where a publisher will pay an author and guarantees acceptance of a paper. We do not do that. Citation stacking, where a reviewer will request the author to include the reviewer's references during the peer review process. And that's something that's, we've been catching over time. And then various forms of conflicts of interest. It could be among authors and reviewers, or reviewers and guest editors of special issues. There's a variety of ways. So we have been working hard to put some practices in place to mitigate these types of misconduct. And when you're thinking about publishing, there's some common mistakes that you want to avoid. And one is publishing a predatory journal. And I recommend going to this website called Think, Check, Submit. It provides a nice checklist of things to look out for in such a journal that you want to avoid. You also don't want to forget to cite other people's work or use quotation marks for any copied text in your article. Please do not submit your paper to more than one publication at the same time. For authors, also, you're not going to want to include too many references to your own work. That can be a gray area for, citation misconduct. Nor do you want to list too many authors on your paper. For IEEE publications, our definition of an author is someone who has made substantial contribution to the paper and the writing of the paper. And as I'll mention a few times in this presentation, don't overlook the publication's scope statement, which is found on the Computer Society sites, at least on the about pages for each journal. So the next step is, as you're thinking about publishing, you want to think about where to find high impact journals. IEEE Computer Society is definitely in that realm. But one thing you want to consider is looking at where, if you're if the publisher that you're going to submit the paper to is a member of the Committee on Publication Ethics, also known as COPE. IEEE is a member of COPE, and it provides some really excellent information about publishing misconduct and how to avoid it, and things to look for. So as I mentioned, Computer Society publishes and manages over 30 peer-reviewed journals and magazines. Our pubs have high impact factors. An impact factor is given when a publication is in existence for a minimum of 3 years. We also have well-known experts in the field serving as our editors-in-chief and as members of our editorial boards. And one of the advantages of publishing with Computer Society is that we have a dedicated library that's focused on computing, which is called CSDL, or Computer Society Digital Library. So your content would be published there. It's also published in Explore, which is IEEE's digital library, and all IEEE publications are included in that. But compared to other publishers in the computing sciences space, they don't have the dual sets of digital libraries. So I think you are definitely at an advantage to publish with us. because you will get a wider reach for your work. For IEEE and Computer Society, we offer multiple choices for publishing, including open access. Computer Society has two fully open access journals, and the newest one is our IEEE Transactions on Privacy, which launched earlier this year, and the Open Journal of the Computer Society, which launched in 2020. We also, all of our other publications are hybrid. So if you choose to want to make your paper open access, you can um, uh, by paying article processing charge or APC, just like the OA, fully OA journals. Also, in publishing with us, we do provide resources to help you determine where to submit your paper. As I mentioned, you can look at the scope statements for each publication. We also have calls for papers that you can review for upcoming theme issues and topics. And IEEE has a publication recommender tool, which is really useful in helping you determine if you're not sure which IEEE publication to submit to, it'll take you through a series of questions. It does return results, not just for Computer Society, but IEEE as well. Oh, there we go. So before you write your paper or submit your paper, there's some things I would recommend before you do the submission, and that's to read the journal's author guidelines. This will help ensure that you understand some of the key expectations of the journal in terms of page and or word count limits. For journals, mandatory overlength page charges. If a paper is over 12 pages, then those page charges will take effect. Article processing charges for OA papers, what the writing style is. This is mostly applicable to magazines. What the figure guidelines are and permissions for reusing a figure that you don't own. There's information there. Also, what the reference limits are and ensuring that your paper is in compliance with that, as well as some information about copyright for non-OA papers or for OA papers, the CC by BY license. So at this stage, you've done your research, you've determined where you want to publish your paper in a Computer Society journal, of course, and you're ready to get going on the paper. Some of the things that our editors in chief look at in determining whether to accept the paper, they want to they're looking for novel ideas and emerging research and trends as well. For journals, they're looking for the technical depth that's presented. For magazines, we're looking for applications of the technology that you're writing about. And it's always helpful to write in such a way in clear, concise language to make the paper as readable as possible. I find it helpful to create an outline that includes the items listed here. This is the basic outline for format for all of our publications. If you have more than one author, if you have co-authors, there's some author collaboration tools you can use, and you may want to use that to assign sections of the paper to other people. If English is not your first language, IEEE does have author discounts with third-party editorial services such as American Journal Experts or INAGO. They provide translation into English as well as other types of editing services that you as an author may be interested in. I already mentioned in terms of writing, to the best possible ability, concise language is helpful. Also, using figures to illustrate complicated concepts is helpful as well. Sometimes a picture is worth 1,000 words. So you've written your paper, your authors are happy, co-authors are happy with it. Now it's time to submit. IEEE Computer Society, as well as almost all of our IEEE publications, we use Scholar One manuscripts for a peer review system. After you submit that your manuscript, the EIC receives it after it has been checked by the peer review administrator just to make sure for compliance issues. And at that point, the EIC is going to determine whether the paper, he or she's going to assign it to an associate editor who then shepherds getting the reviews, or if the paper is out of scope, it will be rejected before it goes out to review, which is why I have mentioned several times the importance of understanding what the scope is for the journal of your interest. Now, once the AEs, associate editors, receive the paper, their task is to recruit a minimum of 3 reviewers to review your paper. However, it's difficult these days to find reviewers, and they often have to send invites to 10 or more people to get those 3 reviews. Once the reviews come in, the AE will make a recommendation of either accept, major revision, minor revision, or reject. And that recommendation goes to the EIC, and then the EIC makes the final decision. And that decision could involve any one of these categories that I just mentioned, accept, major revision, etc. Once you, assuming your paper gets accepted, there are some next steps that you'll need to follow. One is there'll be a request for final materials for your paper. So that will be requested. So submit those by the given deadline. The accepted version of the article, the one that you put through the Scholar One, that will automatically be posted in the early access section, also known as preprint, of CSDL, as well as IEEE Explore. And at this point, the article is considered published. But there's a few things that happen after that in which there's some final touches that occur where the article enters the production workflow for some minor edits, grammatical changes, and possible format changes if needed. Then the article, you'll receive it through the IEEE Author Gateway system. It'll give you a chance to review any of the minor changes that were made, and then you can approve it in the Author Gateway. At this point, the article is considered final, and then it is published in either the relevant special issue you submitted to, or it's placed in the article queue for publication on a space available basis. And this final version does replace the author accepted article that was published in early access. So it'll move from early access to the issue that your article is to appear in. IEEE, for promotional activities regarding your article, the Computer Society does promote each issue that is posted in CSDL. We do some other social media posts in addition to that. But however, authors can promote their articles on their social media pages as well. So this page is just compiling the author resources and links that I provided throughout this presentation. So hopefully that will be helpful to you. And I think that is, yes, that is the end of my presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if there's any questions.
There are no questions in the chat right now.
I know that's a lot of information in a short amount of time. I tried to keep it simple.
May I have a question?
Sure.
My question is a little bit more practical. So generally, do you prefer the format in Microsoft Word or LaTeX? Which one is better for you generally?
That's an excellent question. Um, we can accept either format. So with, you know, I can't say that there's a preference for one or the other. I think it's one in which you're most comfortable using to write the paper.
So it doesn't matter, yeah?
Correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Uh, Another question and regarding equations. When I am using
Yes.
Microsoft Word, I can use Microsoft Equation Editor or MathType. So which one is better for you? Because Microsoft uses different fonts for equations.
Right.
So maybe a problem.
Yeah, I know the past, we definitely were using MathType. I have not heard that there's a specified use of that versus what's already in Microsoft. So I think that the production team will take whatever is received and uh, put it in the format for the paper.
So we are usually using MathType and didn't meet any problem.
Okay, I think you could continue with that.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Thank you for asking. Yes. Ivan, please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I have two questions. One is you mentioned this company supporting the language, the final copy proof,
Yes.
the language. Does it matter if the language is American English or English English?
I mean, for the language used for the original paper.
Yeah.
So we do publish in I call American English. But they can take the paper from any language that is your native language and convert it into American language.
Okay, I see.
American English, I should say.
My other question, but maybe it's too detailed. As far as I'm working in the field of education, working with young and very young pupils and children, I'm just reading the scope of IEEE transactions on education, and it's not quite clear if this is out of the scope or not to present the research being done with I don't know, primary pupils from schools.
So I'm sorry, could you restate what the question is?
I'm not quite sure if the scope of IEEE transactions on education somehow excludes working with young pupils from schools where the computer science or computing education should start.
Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, that's a good question. That might be something that you could contact the EIC about. So yeah, that's not a Computer Society publication, but as you noted, it's IEEE. So I think that's a question for the EIC that could help you with that one.
Yeah, okay, okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ivan.
Okay, if there's no other question, I have another one regarding regarding citation.
Citations, okay.
Which languages you accept in literature? So you can accept English name of the papers. So how about German, French, Russian, using Cyrillic?
So the citations would, you're asking if it's acceptable to have those citations in a different language, like that work.
If the paper which is cited is in different language than English.
Right.
So which languages are okay?
Oh, well, actually, that's a really good question. I haven't come across this, but if the source is in a different language, I'm not aware of any guideline that says it has the source has to be in English. So as long as it's citable, you could put it in the article, put it in your article, the citation, and then theoretically, I guess it would be up to whomever was interested in reading the citation, would possibly have to get some assistance in reading it, but I'm not aware of a policy that says you can't do that.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Tamara?
Hello, yeah. So I have a question regarding portals like Archive and if, how does it influence, or what is the condition? Can I publish an archive before submitting to the Journal of IEEE, or how is the ruling?
You may, yes. We have several authors that do that, and all of our papers, I failed to mention, do go through a plagiarism checker called Crosscheck or Crossref, I guess now, and that mechanism system will often pick up the archive paper as being too similar to the paper you're submitting. But we recognize when we're doing the manual checking of the report that's generated, if it's the archive paper, then we let that go because we recognize that that's the case. I would make sure that you put that in your citations of your paper, though. But that's a really good question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, once more.
No problem.
I have a question regarding the ResearchGate portal, if you know it.
ResearchGate, I've heard it. Yes. Yeah.
So if there's an article, it usually appears on the ResearchGate page, and when you have there an account, there's a possibility to publish there also abstract or full text. So if I want to publish on ResearchGate abstract or full text, should I ask for permission, IEEE, or not?
So if you want to publish
so there's an
your
article,
IEEE paper,
I'm an author, and
right.
There's a possibility to put there abstract or full text. So what are the conditions for publishing those two topics, abstract and full text, if I need permission from IEEE or not?
I believe you would need permission, especially for the full text. I
so
think
abstract would be probably okay, and full text needs
yeah. And along with the abstract, you would need to publish the DOI of the article so that people could find it.
Okay, thanks.
Sure. Good question. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So are there, let's say that I'm writing in LaTeX, for example,
Yes.
but it doesn't really matter. Are there templates for the article structure and what exactly?
There are. Yes, when they're on the IEEE Author Center site. There's even a template selector for you to choose from, and you can select the LaTeX template or a Word template, whichever you're most comfortable with.
Mm-hmm. And I suppose they also differ from journal to journal or publication to publication.
There could be. I don't know offhand if the template selector is specific to publication or the type, whether it's a journal or magazine article type.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could check it out. It's on it's the IEEE Author Center, and it'll be on that website.
Thanks.
Sure.
I just looked it up, and you're choosing individual journals for in the template selector.
Thank you for confirming that.
Yeah, I'll drop the link in the chat so that you have it.
I should have known that, but thank you.
You can't know everything. That's totally fine. Okay,
I've not been an author. No, that's good.
There you go. All right. Are there any more questions? Seems that there aren't any. If you think of anything, feel free to write us a message. You have my email address, or Lucia's if you're from Slovakia, from the invitation and the email with the link. And we're recording the webinar. I'll send you the recording possibly tomorrow or early next week, and you can share it with your colleagues or and along with all of the resources that Robin will provide with the presentation and everything. So yeah, so any more question? Last chance. Okay, it appears that not. So in that case, I think thank you everyone for your attention. Thank you, Robin, for the presentation and for taking your time in the morning, I presume. And
Yep.
yeah, and everyone have a nice afternoon or morning, and good luck with your writing, I guess. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.